left 2 runners on base in the first, second, third, and fourth innings, and left the bases loaded in the fifth and sixth innings. So that's why we have kind of a late start here in Game 2.
All right, batting now is number 2, English. Strike on the first pitch.
Did you run into that parking lot on 71?
No, I was going the other direction this morning, and on the way back it was cleared up.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, the line drive through short.
Right, there are 2 outs thanks to that double play there.
I think the count's 0-2. I think the other ball was a pitch was a ball, I think. Can't look up on the scoreboard and see it here. Foul ball out of play.
There we go. Okay, everything is up and operating now. We're on the air in Jeffersonville. We are on the air here.
Yeah, it was a pretty abrupt, quick start here in Game 2.
It was a quick start.
For those of you just tuning in again, Wilmington took Game 1 6-2. Game 2 here, there are 2 outs in the top of the first inning. Baldwin Wallace out of Berea, Ohio, has a runner at third base. And she's going to get in. That's going to be a single up the middle. That is going to be an earned run, however, because I'm going to judge as the scorer that with my wonderful assistant Melanie Hall that runner would have likely scored from second base. So it will be an earned run on Persicano.
First baseman, number 11.
Despite the error getting over to third, Joe, would you agree with that assessment? Probably
yeah, I probably would have.
With 2 outs even.
Yeah,
as soon as the ball's contacted, she's going to be running.
She's going to be running. She's going to score on that play.
Yep.
So this is number 11, Milligan. Big first baseman for Baldwin Wallace. Looks like if she got into it, I think she could send it out to those cars.
Yeah, and she actually, Joe, did not play in Game 1.
Wow.
So interesting lineup change there from the Baldwin Wallace coaching staff.
Yeah, I can say it looks like 1-1.
She comes in today with a .300 batting average, even 9 hits and 30 at-bats, 4 doubles, 6 RBIs.
And pitch. And she looks like she went.
Ugly. Good pitch there from Persicano.
Yeah, Persicano did a good job here. And, she sort of caught her. She do I swing, do I not swing? And so sort of caught herself.
Beth has a .371 ERA and 54 2/3 innings pitched.
Strike 3 on the outside corner.
Excessive
nice pitch.
Window shopping. Strikeout looking there, and that'll end the first. So Baldwin Wallace does get a run here in the first, just like in Game 1. And Wilmington will bat in the home half, trailing 1-0.
And once again, Mean Dean, or Dean the Butterbean, as we're calling him now. He's over on camera number 2, down the first base line. Joe Davis in the booth now in place of Charlie. We actually have our own substitutions.
Yes.
Joe Davis in for Charlie Hargrave.
But there's no re-entry.
That's
here.
right.
Unlike softball, there's no re-entry.
That's right. You're out. You're out.
You're out. Charlie, you're gone.
Charlie has used up his word count for the day, and he is going to go take an ice bath on the throat there, and Joe can step in.
Oh, no love lost.
So Abby Cozart, let's learn a little bit about her, the pitcher for Baldwin Wallace here in Game 2. She is 2-2 with a .376 ERA, only 22 1/3 innings pitched. She has 10 strikeouts in those 22 innings and 12 walks. So about a strikeout and a walkout every other inning. Also a lefty, so that'll be a little bit different look for Wilmington. I know Rick Phillips is here, so we talked a lot about Baldwin Wallace, the pitcher in Game 1, really establishing the upper outside part of the plate against the righties of Wilmington. And Savannah Hooper actually went 4 for 5 in Game 1. It'll be interesting with her sort of seeing lefty on lefty. That'll be a little bit different for her.
Right.
As she's usually a slap hitter that likes to let the ball get into the strike zone and sort of push it towards third base or shortstop and beat the throw out.
Looks like she has a rise ball that she uses frequently here, doesn't it? So, Joe, how was work today?
Not bad.
Not bad?
Not bad.
Probably worse given the apparel he's wearing, but we'll see what's going on.
We've already been into the Michigan, Ohio State.
For those of you who don't know, my grandfather taught at the greatest university in the world, the University of Michigan, for several years. So I tend to bleed maize and blue, and I realize I'm in Ohio country. So
I have
to
customers
poke
that
fun.
come in. If they come in with a blue and gold shirt linked down, I said, "Are you sure you want to buy this?"
Well,
one? We have a nice gray and
blue and gold would be Notre Dame. Maize and blue would be University of Michigan. So I would second you. I
College.
wouldn't buy
Oh, I
blue and
forgot.
gold either, Joe.
It's like the corn.
I forgot.
Maize.
I forgot. They named theirs after corn. That's right.
That's right.
Would you like to buy this corn blue shirt?
Well, actually, one of my
corn,
relatives.
corn yellow.
No, it's corn and blue.
Oh,
My,
corn
my,
and
my wife's uncle, who's a big Ohio State fan, thinks that the maize at the University of Michigan is like key lime pie.
That is strike.
That's what, or lemon meringue pie.
Lemon
excuse me.
meringue,
So he
yeah.
calls it lemon meringue in blue.
I like lemon meringue.
It's all right.
See if Savannah Hooper can't keep up a hot streak here for Wilmington.
Low, I think. Let's
Yeah,
see.
agree with you. Agree with you there, sir.
I was saying quick because as soon as I say that, the umpire comes up with this.
Well, we know you've got the eagle eye, Joe, being a referee.
Well, and this umpire looks to have a little bit quicker of a signal
Yeah.
than our now the
Right.
field umpire. The umpires do switch, so our home plate umpire in game one is now in the field.
There's no delay in the calling.
1 and 2 here on Savannah. She offered on that pitch low.
Foul
And
tip on that one.
Yep, fouls one up and away.
I think it would have been a ball, but you got to protect that plate when you've got that 2 strikes on you. And I tell you what, I have batted against a softball pitcher, fastball guy pitching. You don't have time to think. You just swing.
Yep. Battling it out there is Hooper once again. See if Wilmington, Rick and Joe, can, if they get runners on base, can deliver better with runners in scoring position.
Yeah.
That
Oh.
average got to
That'll
be
be-
pretty
Ball
low.
hit out in front of the plate, picked up
Base
by the
hit.
pitcher, and Savannah's already across the
Yep,
base.
base
Nice
hit.
She's
nice
fast.
base hit. Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that ball was hit the dirt in front of the home plate and went out with a high bounce and then dropped. By the time anybody got to it, they're not going to be able to get it.
And I agree with you, Joe. It was right in that middle spot where it was
Died.
not sharply hit enough for the pitcher, but far enough that the catcher couldn't get there.
Right, and the third baseman couldn't get in.
Here comes Michaela Hensley stepping up. She
Bunting
shows
and foul
bunt.
tips.
Yep, and a foul tip.
I just noticed as she turned around, we got a female umpire behind home plate.
Yes, we do.
Doing a good job. From the
Yep.
back, you can't tell.
She did
short
overturn
haircut.
one interesting play in the second game. She called a
First game.
First game, excuse me. Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. And there's a successful
Nice
bunt. This is
bunt.
going to be 1-4, I think.
1-4.
Yep, sacrifice bunt. They're advancing Savannah Hooper a second. But Joe, as you just got here, there was an interesting play where ball was hit to shortstop, and the ball was thrown in the dirt to the first baseman, and she sort of bobbled it and got called safe. Originally, 2 runs scored with 2 outs,
And she'd
and
return.
then they overturned the call and called her out, which I think ultimately was the
Was the
correct
right
call.
Yeah.
But again, we get in that sticky area of what is a catch. Talking
Right.
about what the NFL has been dealing with for several years.
Oh, nice sharp
hit.
hit up the middle to the second base side of the bag, bringing in one, and
Yeah.
she stops at first. So we
Alicia
get
Kemp, first pitch, singles home Savannah Hooper, RBI, and we are tied at 1. And this is, thus far, Rick, this is a carbon copy
That's right.
of game 1. We had a run for BW and then a run for Wilmington. Here comes Allison Pierce, who's red hot. She came in 391 on the season. She hit she had an RBI double to right center field, scoring the first run of the game for Wilmington in game 1.
hit foul down the first base side. A little late behind that one. Number 14, Pierce.
Joe Davis, you also share a name with another Joe Davis, who's broadcasting for the Los Angeles Dodgers now, taking over for Vin Scully. He was a D3 Hoops broadcaster to start his career.
Is that the one that was doing some the football?
He was doing some of the Fox. He's a
Yeah.
broadcaster for Fox, yes.
I saw him. I always
Yep.
tell people, turn this on. I'm on television.
Yep, yep.
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 Dean's got the ball.
I can't comment on his broadcasting, but I do know his apparel choices are much better than yours.
watch Dean, because he may try to keep that ball.
Yeah. Dino, you better give us that ball back. That costs money.
Has he got his ears on?
Oh, and there's a
Ball hit
sharp
the
hit
sharp-
ball.
gonna
That's
be a
going to be a
double
double
play.
play.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, nice
4-3
play.
DP.
I thought she might stop and make him come to her, and then maybe to get the person at first, but didn't happen.
All right, so we do tie it up in the bottom of the inning. So it is now 1-1 after a full inning of play here. This is CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports. From the campus of Wilmington College, this is game 2 of the doubleheader that we had here today. And
Savannah's sister out here doing the warming up for the pitcher.
Yep, she started catching in game 1.
That's Sawyer, by the way, Sawyer Hooper. Well, I always told him when it's Savannah, and I go, okay, what's your sister's name? Charleston or Atlanta? What? If you're gonna have one with a city name, you'd have the other one.
Given the golf tournaments going on, Augusta.
Might
yes. be the name you'd want to
Savannah
think of
and Augusta.
Weekend.
Yeah.
So were you trying to catch a quick nap before the game began, Joe?
No, I was actually doing some tax work.
Oh, well, that sounds fun.
Yeah, and just perfect. I just laid the pin down. Says I'm going to put this away for a while, and Charlie texted me.
Charlie called. Yeah, Charlie was getting a little panicked there. I think he had something that he had to do this evening. Imagine that. As busy as Charlie is.
Sure.
Yeah.
Retired must be a rough life. All right, so Beth Persicano, see if she can settle down a little bit. She's been known in my amateur eye to give up some runs early. Usually people jump on her early and she sort of settles down the second time through the order. It's interesting with pitchers. Sometimes, they have a struggle. They mow through the lineup the first time and then struggle the second time. But I think Beth, I would venture a guess, has given up more runs in the first 2 innings than she has probably the next 3 or 4 this season.
All right, we have Owens, the batter, number 77. That's a high number. Don't usually see that in.
Must have some significance.
Must have. She wasn't born in 77. That's make her too old.
Yeah.
She ain't graduating in 77, so I'm trying to.
Maybe she knows you're 77, so she's out
there. I'm not as old as you yet, Rick.
I actually have been accepted for Medicare.
Ooh, I haven't, so that tells you something, people.
They said I pass with flying colors. Well, it's hard when you're self-employed. You never know. The government doesn't. They lose track of you. They think you're dead or something.
We think you're dead sometimes.
Beth can pitch outside.
Yeah, a while ago she caught that outside corner for the called third strike, and right now they're a little lower, a little high, just a couple of. Was it a full count?
It's 3-2.
Usually they go full like that. So I was
scoreboard over there, Joe.
I can't see it from here.
Oh.
Ooh, I thought that was a good
up,
pitch.
maybe just a little bit up.
That's where they like to swing and hit it. I don't understand.
So a leadoff walk here for Beth Persicano.
Now hitting. Second baseman, number 18, Alex Kozic.
Kozic came into the day with a 200 batting average, 13 hits, 65 at-bats. See if a bunt on for Baldwin Wallace here is not.
She didn't show any out, no. Unless she was just automatically taking that first pitch so they wouldn't know if she was going. Now she could drop down to the bunt this time without them thinking about it.
So to me that means 2 things. A, you're confident Kozic is a hitter, or B, you're not confident in your pitching staff.
Right.
Or both.
Oh, that looked down the middle.
That was good. That was good. That was a little delayed there.
Yeah, it was. Because I wasn't sure. I was going, ooh, okay, strike. Nope, a little outside. 2-1. Taking her time looking. Here it comes. Inside
pitch.
corner?
Yep,
yes.
Got it.
I thought that was a good
Looked
pitch.
like a change-up to me.
Yeah, we still have a good crowd here. Some of them might have gone home, or they're somewhere else where it's warmer.
Yeah, it's going to get colder here as the sun starts to set.
Count.
It's lovely
doubles.
Ohio weather.
I don't call this even. They say always in baseball. They say even's the count up at 2-2, but even means the next pitch would balance it, and it's not. 2-2 is not even.
So what is it now, Joe?
Did she go around? No, she did not. So right now we have a full count. Now it's an even. The next pitch, if it's a ball, it's a walk. If it's a strike, it's an out. Even count, full count. Pop up. Can anybody get to
Got
it?
it.
Yes. Catcher gets to it. Throws
Nope,
back to
nope.
first. Not in time.
So just foul out to the catcher, FF2 for those of you scoring at home. But a big out there for Beth is don't want to advance another runner, give a base on balls.
Now hitting. Center field.
That's the first out of the inning.
Number 4, Macy Leach.
Macy Leach, a 208 batting average coming in today.
She's looking bunt. No, doesn't. You know,
Good
can't
pitch.
tell by that. I've seen a lot of batters bat like that, putting it out in front, then bring it back, and couldn't tell if that she's going to stay there and bunt or not. Ooh, another good pitch.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one thing, Rick, we noticed in the first game where
Crowding the
Baldwin
plate.
Wallace crowding the plate and really trying to bail out and thus incentivize the umpire to call those inside pitches balls. But
Exactly, but they're not having any of it.
you know, I notice it feels like a little bigger of a strike zone. And here's a little short ground ball to Kendall
Good
Bowles.
pickup.
Great
Safe.
play.
Oh, got her out. Oh, wow.
5-3.
That was a
Kendall,
great pickup.
one of the best defensive players on this team. 2 down
She just showed
for
it there.
BW with a runner at second base.
Now hitting. Third baseman. Number 42, Alex Dick.
Alex Dick.
So Alex Dick did not play in the first game. She's batting 143. Pretty small sample size, though. Just 1 hit and 7 at-bats. But the hit is a double.
Kind of unusual. She's wearing her windbreaker.
Yellow Jackets like to do that. We've had several pinch runners that have done that.
Yellow Jackets like to wear a jacket. Is that?
See what I have to put up with? They state the obvious.
Foul ball. 1-1.
I don't know where I get well, I know where I get them. I get them from Sabina.
What's your foul balls?
Yeah. Oh,
Ball hit to left field. Cannot get to it. Hooper, I thought Hooper was going to get there, but almost like a knuckleball off the end of the bat or something because it
That
looked
was a
like it
base
was.
hit.
Yep.
So got a single and not knocked in a run from second, and the runner was on the move, so that helped her get home.
Yep. 2-1 Yellow Jackets. The leadoff walk will come back to bite for Sakano here, and BW takes the
Now
lead.
hitting. Right fielder. Number 22, Alexis Boldovic.
Oh, I had Kozar on my thing, so Boldovic put batting in the pitcher spot. Foul ball off to the right back, actually came right down in front of us. So again, we have 2 outs, 1 on at first base, 1 run in. So it's a 2-1 ball game at this time, or is it 2-2?
2-1.
2-1. BW's up.
Strike.
Pitch looked a little low to me, but going to give it to Beth. So 1 strike away from getting out of
Yeah, it was dead
the top
center
of
of
the
the
second.
plate, but I agree with you. I thought it might hit the top of her black of her socks there, not quite at the knees, but we'll take the strike.
Should be pretty routine here for Alicia Kemp. It is
Hit the
4-3.
So-
And that'll do it. 1 run for BW on a RBI, 2-out RBI single to left field. So Fighting Quakers will take to the bottom of the second, trailing 2-1 here in Game 2. Again, if you just tuned in, Wilmington winning Game 1 6-2. This is CampusNation.com providing the video and audio commentary for this broadcast of this OAC softball doubleheader.
It looks like coming to bat we have Cook, Burkhart, and Barber.
And it's close enough to the top of the hour. We will do our legal ID.
106.9 WZAA-LP, Jeffersonville.
And that's us. Right out of Fayette County. Just about 25 miles north, maybe a little east of here. So, Joe, is that what you were wearing, or did you put that on just for Mitch?
No, this is what I wore to work today.
Oh, okay. All right. But you changed your hat.
Yeah, I changed my hat.
Yeah, didn't think you were going to wear your WZAA hat to work.
No, I wore my cool hat to work.
Your cool hat.
My cool hat.
The one that Charlie likes so much?
The one that Charlie loves, yes.
Yeah, he loves
That's
it.
my...
Yeah, he loves that
That's
hat.
my Charleston, South Carolina, I'm on the beach hat.
Uh-huh. Except you're not on the beach.
I know.
You want to be on the beach.
That gets me in that mood, yes.
Uh-huh. One of those drinks with the umbrellas in it and the...
Now hitting. Catcher. Number 10, Julia Cook.
It looks like she could power that ball if she got a hold of one.
And I believe that's true. You could put one over the fence. And we could use one right here.
Yep.
Right out over there. Your car's not out there, so there's nothing for her to shoot at, just to put it over the fence. You're actually parked back here with me, aren't you?
I'm right behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, a little high. Abby Cozart pitching for Baldwin Wallace.
And
Cook
what we
is
were
batting.
saying, and you probably are unaware of this, Joe, but we are actually going to be doing some of Baldwin Wallace's home football games this year on Campus Nation for our game of the week. Oh,
So where's Baldwin Wallace?
Berea, Ohio, which is up near the Cleveland area.
Right.
Dean, he probably thought that was going to come at him.
Did he dive and hit the ground?
He didn't dive, but we've had a few dive here in the press box.
Okay, little roller to second, picked up. Nice throw to first and gets the out. Get those slow rollers the other side, you might have a chance of beating one out, but when you hit a slow roller to second, usually
The
short
kiss
throw.
Of death. Kiss of death.
Now hitting. DP. Number 30, Mariah Burkhart.
Mariah Burkhart, the DP for Wilmington. Ball down the middle, fouls it off to the right side, just right at first base. So first game was what, 6-2?
6-3.
6-3.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we've got a 2-1 ball game. Wilmington trailing. Gonna call that a strike on the outside corner.
And our next broadcast on Campus Nation will be tomorrow night. We have lacrosse from Wilmington High School.
I'll be doing volleyball.
Oh,
Base hit,
solid
past
hit.
shortstop. Nice, solid hit.
Now hitting. Shortstop. Number 20, Kaylee Barber.
6:20. Is that the time or what? Barbara up batting. She's got her jacket on.
Yeah.
And a little pop to shortstop. And luckily she wasn't stealing on that, so she can get quickly back to first. So we have a fly out to shortstop on that
Now
one.
hitting.
Second out.
Third baseman. Number 2, Kendall Bowles.
Kendall Bowles batting now. Keep the rally going. I'll get a rally going.
Joe, you weren't here for game one. Kendall Bowles came in today 3 for 33.
Oh, wow.
And went 3 for 3 with a hit by pitch.
That's pretty good.
Mitch jinxed her for the good.
Reverse,
He
and I
mentioned
said it. Reverse
You did.
jinx. After
You
the
did.
first hit, I said, "You're welcome, Kendall."
Absolutely.
I told her after the game, said, "You're welcome," and she said, "If I ever get in a slump again, you're going to put that microphone on. You're going to say the same thing."
That's right. So tomorrow night we have Talawanda High School coming in to play the Hurricane on Campus Nation in lacrosse.
Foul to the right of first base.
And we'll get underway with that at 6 o'clock for those of you that might be listening here in the Wilmington area.
Talawanda coming in from Miami, Ohio.
The Braves.
Yep, home
Traditionally
of the
pretty,
Braves.
traditionally pretty strong baseball program, if I memory serves.
That's correct.
My old employer, Earlham College, several baseball players from Talawanda High School.
Base hit. Hit towards second. Didn't say base hit. And
Boy, it looked
out
like
for the
she
third.
looked like she scooped that ball up. That was more dirt or glove than the ball. But nonetheless, 4-3, and that'll do it.
That shows you she got the glove down on the ground.
Yeah, one base hit stranded there from Burkhart. So after 2 complete, it's BW 2 and Wilmington 1.
Score Baldwin Wallace 2, Wilmington.
I think Baldwin Wallace is at the top of the order when they come up. Boldovic, which should be the first batter, if I'm correct. Followed by, I'm not sure what that means. I'm trying to read this handwriting here. What's that fourth letter?
It looks like a J, but it's an N, I think.
Is it Min? M-I-N-N-E?
Look on your...
Minor.
Minor?
That's a.
So that's Charlie's minor?
Well, that's Charlie's minor.
Charlie was a teacher? Well, of course, he was teaching music, so that doesn't count, does it?
Yeah. Now it looks like minor.
Yeah, actually does.
So, Joe, we had a little D3 trivia with Charlie here. Here's my D3 trivia question for you. Who is the one OAC team to win a national championship in softball?
In softball.
Softball. 2001.
Sammy.
There's the year for you.
2001. I don't know anything about OAC softball.
Muskingum University, the Fighting Muskies.
You know, almost now that you say that, it almost seems like I've heard that
The
before.
late and great Donna Newberry leading Muskingum to a national championship in softball. Only one in school history in any sport, if memory serves.
Well, they've got minor batting. What happened to Boldovic? Did she already bat last inning?
She was the last batter in the.
I had Cozart was supposed to be batting, and I said, "Oh, they got somebody batting for Cozart." I must have missed a batter last inning.
You didn't. Cozart is in the flex.
Okay.
And in
that's
softball,
right.
the flex does not bat.
So then Boldovic.
Cozart's the pitcher.
So Boldovic would have. And they don't have anybody batting for her. It just goes automatically to the first batter.
That is correct.
Okay. So
Yep.
that's what I.
Yep.
Little number.
That's going to
I
be
let
a
it go.
Nope,
Yes.
good job.
Good job.
Yeah. She didn't do that in game
in the
one.
first
She did in
inning,
game
yeah.
two.
Or in the first game,
So
yeah.
it's DP, Joe, kind of works like the DH in baseball in some respects.
Right.
The difference is in baseball, the DH almost always hits for the pitcher because the pitcher never bats. In softball, frequently the pitcher will hit. So last game for BW, Mott, who's the DH or the DP this game, was the pitcher.
Right.
And she hit, and their catcher was in the flex, which means she fielded and did not bat.
So you got all that?
I'm just slowly getting it. High fly out of play behind us.
The DP can also do some funky things like switch with anyone in the order at any time.
Wow.
You can do some pretty weird things with the designated player in softball.
Did you say you were parked behind me, Joe?
I'm right there.
Oh, okay. You're back there. Okay. Well, you're blocking. We can't even sell any goodies now because you're blocking the window. People are going to starve to death here.
Sorry.
I was going to say that was close to your car, but it probably was closer to my car.
I got it where when it comes back, hits that up there. It's not going to come back and hit my car.
Oh, okay. You probably get stuck in the mud, though.
I know.
Ooh, that's a good
Shortstop,
hit.
not hitting her glove. Nice
Just
drive.
off her glove.
Nice diving stab.
Base hit for sure.
Pounded that dirt. She wasn't happy.
So leadoff hit for the Yellow Jackets.
Now hitting. Shortstop. Number 2, Erica. English.
Eric
So
English.
Joe, what's your bet a bunt sign gets put on here? I'm going to bet no, given how well Erica English has hit today.
See, I don't know how she hits, but I would,
But my guess is no. And she
And
is
you're right.
swinging away, and she swung at the first pitch. Again, she's early in the count hitter, at least has been today for BW. Joe, I'm going to put you on the spot again. The football field at Baldwin Wallace. Do you happen to know the name of the field?
Baldwin Wallace Field.
Nope. Your Ohio State fandom is now down one notch in my book. It is
famous
Tressel
coach?
Field.
Tressel
Jim Tressel
Field.
went to Baldwin Wallace.
And
Did
it's-
not know that.
Then Baldwin Wallace College. Now Baldwin Wallace University. His
Yep.
father was the football coach there for many years.
Would you say that BW probably has some of the finer facilities in the OAC?
I would say that. Yeah, I would say that. I think they're in the top half. Certainly, there are schools that have some great.
Line
This
drive.
could be
Nope.
just L6.
It was
you scoring at home?
sharply, but it had sort of a float to it, so it gave the runner time to see and go back.
Yeah. So Joe, your Buckeye fandom is now down one peg in my head.
I don't know anything about Tressel prior to going to Ohio State, so that doesn't make me
Well, you know about Youngstown, don't you?
a little bit.
Okay, all right.
I knew he was at Youngstown. Sharply hit
base
past
hit.
shortstop
Yep.
between short and third. So we got a 2 on now.
Yep. And remember what I said, Rick, about Beth Persicano's struggle the first time through the order. You're seeing that now, although this is now where the lineup's flipped over. But usually the first couple innings are her struggle, and she sort of gets in a groove and settles down after that.
So what we're saying is they need to take advantage of her now because more than likely she will settle down, and then she'll be tough.
There were a lot of baseball pitchers like that in pros.
There are, yeah.
Good pitch.
I remember always saying Tom Seaver. If you get to Tom Seaver by the third inning, you could score. If you didn't get to him by the third,
Yeah, I think that's the way it is with any of your really good pitchers. That if you're going to get them, you got to get them earlier. Once
Before
they
they're
get in
in
a
the
groove, then forget it.
Another good pitch, off speed.
Two good pitches.
I think she's the one a while ago that did that sort of funky swing.
Got to think, Joe, you're going to have probably the same curveball, even lower this time, and see if she offers at it.
Make her chase.
If you're pitching Coach Gary, we got Julia Cook setting up on the outside part of the plate.
There
it is.
Yep.
Did not offer.
Yep. If I was them, I'd probably have her bunning on.
If I was Charlie Hargrave, I would have said, "Give me a fastball up at the eyes," but I'm not Charlie Hargrave. And there it is. Cut and a miss. Could not,
2 in a row.
Could not hang off it. Good strikeout swing there for Persicano, and now she's 1 out away from straining a couple of base runners here in the third.
Yeah, she wouldn't take that first time, but that second time she just had to swing.
Haley Owens.
And here's Haley Owens, and all Mr. Joe Davis can think about is why she's wearing number 77.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure that out. Now I'm trying to figure that out.
First pitch is up here from Persicano. 1-0 the count. 1 ball, no strikes.
She's more of a football player, right, Joe?
Right. Well, I remember years ago I did a volleyball game, and a girl had like 96 or 97, and that was the year she was going to graduate.
Ooh, looked like a backdoor curveball there left up.
Yeah, I thought it was
2-0 now. Got to be careful here if you're
I thought that would caught the corner.
Persicano. Owens can now sort of eye in on a pitch he can really hit up 2-0. And she popped it up, but she hit it pretty far, further than a pop-up.
Oh, yeah.
That's more
and that's a home run. That's off the
red car,
off the hood of a, looks like a Nissan out there in straightaway center field. My mistake. I thought she just missed it. Kind of went off the end of the bat, but when it hit,
when it hit, I thought it was going to be about 20 feet into the grass.
Well, Beth, that was on me for saying Owens was going to lock in on a pitch because she sure did. And BW now on top here, 4-1 in the third.
Second baseman, number 18, Alex Kozic.
But honestly, Rick, having you been here both games, I feel confident that the Wilmington offense can put runs on the board now. But you gotta, if you're Persicano,
you got to bear down. You got to get this out.
You got to settle down here and end the inning. No more damage. And honestly, if you're BW, sometimes I almost think that those home runs can be rally killers, right? Because now all of a sudden you have no one on base. I mean, obviously you scored 3 runs and you take
weren't there runners on first and second there?
Yes, that's correct.
So that'd have been 3 runs.
Yes.
And they already had 2. Wouldn't that be 5?
It would be 5.
Yes, it would be 5.
Yeah.
So it is 5.
My high state math tells me it's 5. Unlike the Michigan math that made it 4, the Ohio State math made it 5.
Oh, okay. The Ohio State math was 5, and the Michigan.
But I went to East Clinton, which is Scarlet and Gray, also from Ohio State.
Oh, okay. So. All right. So that's true.
But yet he didn't know that Jim Trussell went to Baldwin Wallace.
That's true.
I'm gonna stop right there.
I don't care.
Well, I'm glad that we just picked up where we left off with Charlie. It's just like it never ending.
So 1-1 now.
I don't know who Trestle's girlfriend was in the 9th grade either. Yeah.
1-1. That pitch was fouled off. 1-2 the count now.
You crack me up, Joe.
I do like the fact that the greatest coach ever at Michigan came from Ohio State, and the greatest coach ever at Michigan never won a national championship.
All right. All right. So, all right. Let's get back to.
Because football is all that matters, right?
That's right.
And yet, the only team to win a national championship in softball in the Big Ten would be the University of Michigan. Because we are broadcasting a softball game, if you didn't know.
That's right. Softball. It's the big yellowish ball there.
Boy,
Joe.
Persicano's got to be careful here. A couple pretty hard foul balls.
Yeah, but that was a changeup, and she got way out in front of it, and so now she would come back with a fastball on the outside. She may not get around fast enough on it.
And you're right. That would be the place to place it and the pitch to pitch it. So let's see. Fastball. Ooh.
And it's headed out in the outfield, but caught.
Yeah, Krager there in the outfield ranging to her right, our left. And that'll end the inning, but BW does get the 3-1 home run from Owens to pretty much straightaway center field, just to the left of the flagpole, and it'll be 5-0 as the Quakers will bat here in the home half of the fourth.
So they got their work cut out for them.
Got to have a little team meeting here for Wilmington to get the rally hats on. I've got bottom of the third.
Bottom of the third. We'll get it right.
She from Michigan?
Nope.
Yeah. Bottom of the third, that's what I thought. Just had a scoreboard's kind of flickering on and off here today. Sorry
well, it
about
does.
that, folks.
It's been going off and then on.
Yep, had some electrical issues at both baseball and softball down here. So, bottom of the third, Wilmington now trailing by 4 runs. Needing to get some runners on base, but they really did that in the first game.
When Wilmington basketball team was winning the national championship or playing for it, we were in the stands. One guy from the stands, Wilmington was behind like 9 points the entire game. I mean, the entire game, 9 points down. One guy would stand up, "We got him right where we want him." And they came back and won the game. So 4 down. We got him right where we want him.
That's right. We're giving them overconfidence.
The game that Joe Davis is referring to was in 2004, Wilmington College against Bowdoin College in the national championship game at Virginia Wesleyan College. Quakers victorious 59-53. We're down a majority of the game. Sam Hood, freshman point guard, hit a go-ahead three-pointer with 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the clock, and Wilmington hoisted its first and currently only national championship in a team sport. 2004.
In the next year, I think Wilmington only lost 3 games and was not even invited to because they didn't win the league, so they were not invited to the tournament and only losing 3 games the entire year.
Outside. Oh, a strike.
Ooh.
Was it outside?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, yes. I mean, I can't because of my perspective, but it looked outside to me.
I go by where the catcher's glove was, and that was outside.
And that's what I go by.
Off the handle, picked up by the third baseman, and throws her out at first. First batter of the inning for Wilmington is an out.
Now hitting, left fielder, number 12, Savannah.
So, Joe, you were at that game when they won the national championship in
Yes.
2004. Yet one of the other fun facts about the run in that tournament is Wilmington was down at halftime in 5 of the 6 games.
Wow.
Of that run.
I mean, one of the first ones they were playing over in Kentucky.
Yep, Thomas More College. Yep,
they
were
Sweet
16, Elite 8.
Strike down the middle. They were down to like 1 second and down either 1 or 2 points. He called a play, and his plays never went to any one person. Just whoever's open, they threw it to one of the freshmen. 9 drive to the shortstop. Nice hit, but unfortunately right at.
Yeah, that was just hitting the wrong spot. Yeah, perfect. I mean, if you're Savannah Hooper, you got to take that at bat. It's a good hit. Just hitting the wrong spot.
And with only like 1.5 seconds on the clock, or 2 seconds, there wasn't very much. Threw it to her in the corner. She grabbed it, turned, flung, and 3-pointer wins the game. And and that just sort of shows me this is a team that's
destined.
Destined. When you throw it into a freshman, she just calmly takes it and shoots a 3, wins the game.
Yeah, Wilmington actually, I think Coach Sheevy, if he were here, would tell you had better teams the 2 years prior.
Right. Back the year before, he thought he was going to win.
Speaking of East Clinton, Megan Woodruff, an East Clinton alumnae, was one that Her career ended in actually 2002, an Elite Eight loss to DePauw University here at Fred Risk Arena. Following year, the Quakers lost to Hope College at Wisconsin La Crosse or Wisconsin Eau Claire. I forget one of those two. Yeah, it was at Eau Claire in the Sweet 16. Baldwin Wallace having its fair share of success in women's basketball as well. Sherry Hare has been the coach for a long time, and they've made the second weekend of the tournament multiple times. I think still chasing an elusive Final Four appearance.
Ooh, man, that's a line drive shot
and
right at the middle.
Two really hard hit balls.
Cozart made a great play.
Cozart just didn't even blink.
No,
did not even blink. Just threw her glove up, and that was it.
I don't think it's one of those where you think about it. It's just a reaction.
Yep.
You know?
No, I agree totally. So that'll be it. No 3 up, 3 down for Wilmington in the third. So now we will head to the fourth. After 3 complete, Baldwin Wallace leads 5-1.
Well, once again, the ball was hit sharply in each of those cases. So I think
Is that our illustrious assistant basketball coach?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Saw him walk
Alan,
by with the hood down over his
Alan
face.
is also an assistant on the softball team. Yeah. And of course, Alan has been involved in several of our broadcasts as well. Yeah, we have what we call the big tent, Joe, because, you know, we bring everybody into the tent, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Oh, yeah, you get the group. Yeah.
All right, here comes Baldwin Wallace up. First batter of the inning is going to be number 4, Hensley. Oh, that's the wrong team. Sorry.
Yeah. That's
Leach.
and Leach, yeah. She just looks fast, doesn't she?
Yes.
Leach.
And you've coached track, and I've ran track, and you can usually tell someone when they've got some speed, got some wheels. She's got wheels.
Inside.
Now, in the first game, that was called a strike almost all the time.
Depends on who's behind the plate, huh?
That's true, yeah.
Well, this catcher is setting up really inside. Where the other, depends on where the umpire, where the umpire sets up over the shoulder. Oh, it's going to look like it's going to be a base hit up the middle. Oh, it's catcher or second baseman dives, gets the ball, but
she has great range.
She does,
and she's tall anyway, so.
Great dive, great play.
Third baseman, number 42, Alex Dick.
This is our yellow jacket that bats with her jacket.
Mm-hmm. But it's not a yellow jacket.
It's not a yellow jacket. I noticed that last time, but I didn't bring that point.
Now I've always said I like Baldwin Wallace's colors. Just about.
Yeah, that's a good bunt. That's going to be 5-3 sack bunt. Yeah, advance the runner. 5-4. Excuse me. Thank you. Pierce was charging and Kemp doing a good job covering first base.
Now batting, right fielder, number 22, Alexis Moldovic.
Now we're back up at the top of the order. Moldovic. Runner at second, 1 out. Fly down the right field line, but too far away from anybody to get it. It was trailing to the right a little bit, away from everybody.
It's gotten a little cloudier since this morning. Or I guess since early this afternoon.
I wouldn't know. I was inside a building the entire time.
Mm-hmm. You were selling, what do you sell at Kohl's?
Close.
Clothes, okay, yeah.
Another foul off to the right. She's not getting around on her fastball. Now, here, sometimes you'd think maybe change up, but sometimes the change up just gets into her where she would normally hit it. So I'd come in on her wrist a little bit, though. She'd been outside. And she stayed outside and over the right fielder's head. We got a run scoring. She's going in for a triple. Here comes the throw. Not near in time.
And, Joe, you made a good point. I think Persicano just went to the well one too many times. You can see, and a good piece of hitting there to just take the ball and hit it where it was pitched.
Right. She was, she timed, she'd had a couple, but okay, now she was getting her timing down on that outside corner pitch, and it's, after you come inside on her, now her timing's off, and she might have even got a called third strike or a whiff. Ball one. So we got a runner at third, 1 run in, making it 6-1, and
only 1 out too. So be a great place for a little pop out or strike out for Persicano to give a chance to strand that runner at third base.
Need the out to be made in the infield.
Yeah, or very, very shallow outfield. I think assistant coach and pitching coach Gary Breeden gonna talk to Persicano, and that's going to be it for her. So Mariah Burkhart, who I believe started at the DP, is now going to pitch.
Right. Now, does that leave Persicano in the game still?
No, it does not. So you forfeit your flex position when the DP comes in to field.
Okay.
So we have a little break in the action as we replace a pitcher. And the score right now 6-1. And
Now pitching for the Fighting Quakers.
Looks like she's doing pretty good.
Mariah Burkhart.
Yeah, she's already gave up the 3-run homer. You were down 5-1. You go into this inning, we get another run and a triple. Probably not a bad decision to change pitchers.
So again, kind of confusing for those of you who aren't super familiar with softball, but Mariah Burkhart was the designated player, and she's now coming into pitch. So there is no flex position similar to in baseball. If the DH was the pitcher, that it's kind of the same thing.
Looks like a good pitch. Yeah, strike. So we got 1 strike. Batting again is
so we have 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out.
And Burkhart does have a 0 ERA this year, but she's only pitched 3 innings. In fact, as a team, Wilmington has pitched 110 innings coming into today, and pitchers not named Beth Persicano and Grace Shell have pitched just 4 innings of those 110. But
foul out.
I did see Mariah warming up, throwing pitches, and I think she is sort of the third option.
Right now, this one seems to be doing pretty well.
So you're unaware of this, Joe, but the creek that we're fouling balls into is the Hargrave Creek.
Is it really?
Yeah, we named it.
Well, that requires Charlie to either give some money to the Wilmington softball program or to fish out all the balls, to which he elected to go with
paying the money.
With option A, provided he wins the lottery. So,
yes.
Oh boy, that's
a
hard
nice
ball.
grab.
What a stop! And she's nope, she's safe.
Safe. Pulled her off the base.
Yeah.
You want to tag her just in case?
Nope.
Can't.
And then she's safe. Okay.
That was poor decision there. Someone said tag her. She tripped over the base. And the question was, did she touch the base when she fell down? If the base tripped her, of course she did. But if she tripped before she got to the base and fell without touching the base, that's what they're questioning. That's what they're going to question. Did she fall down and fall over the base, or did she hit the base and that made her trip?
Yeah, but a great play by the third baseman.
Oh, fantastic play.
So that is going to be scored a single. It's not going to be an error. The ball was hit so hard and she had to move to her left a little bit, so that will be scored a single and an RBI. And BW now on top 7-1. But again, I think 90% of Division III third basemen, that ball is into left field.
Oh, absolutely.
Great job by Bowles there to make the play. She got to her knees, had to get up and hurried to throw a little bit.
Right. And it was still a decent throw, just a little bit on the inside part of the base. But
right. It was the home plate side of the first base.
So I think the only regret from that play from the Wilmington side is letting the runner score from third base.
Right. Yeah, because when she turned her back to run and go touch the runner,
that's when the break was made.
That gave the third base runner at third base, time to scamper home.
And I don't know if it was a third base person or the coach that caught that real quick.
I'm going to guess it was a reaction by the third baseman or
Yep.
the runner at third base. I don't think coach is going to wave you home from that point.
Well, it's a little hard, even if your coach sees it and says, if he says go and you're standing flat-footed, it's kind of hard to do that. I think it's got to be on the base runner. Another ball to short, bobbles, picks up, steps on the base.
So that's just fielder's choice, and then 6 unassisted. Yeah, and the other reason, Joe, why I would say I would lean towards that being a player decision is you only have 1 out. And if you have a runner at third with 1 out as a coach, I think the chances that you score that run are higher than not.
Right.
Therefore, don't run the risk of running into an out. That would be my initial thought, but
yeah,
we won't know.
For it to be quick like that, you would normally think it's based on the runner watching and bad throw here.
That's a wild pitch.
So the runner advances from first base to second base. There are still 2 outs. There's a ball on the batter, and it is 7-1 here in the top of the 4th inning. Almost
another wild pitch.
And the runner goes to third. So, once again, the runner advances with a sort of it wasn't totally wild, but was outside enough that she was able to advance to third base. So, let's get this out here.
It'll be high.
3 balls, no strikes, 2 out. So we now have runners at the corners, runners on first and third. So the question, we saw this earlier in the first game, I'm just wondering, will they attempt to send the runner from first to second?
I would say yes.
Yeah, my thought would be the same.
Because you're not...
Although it just depends on the speed of the runner at first base.
The only reason they wouldn't is because, they have a 7-1 lead. You might just say, hey, let's just stay where we are. Right. But if the girl from first goes, I don't see any attempt to throw her out.
Now, the umpire did. Do we have a change? Do we have a pinch runner? Potentially, the umpire did write something in her book.
Doesn't look.
No, it doesn't look like there was any change. Although there was some discussion with the coach, like they might have been thinking of putting some type of a play on her.
High fly down the left field line and dropped by Savannah Hooper.
Which will allow a run to come home.
Another run scores. That's going to be an error.
So it's 8-1.
Number 77, Haley Owens.
Haley Owens up. Got to find out what that 77 stands for.
Yeah.
Is this driving you crazy, Joe?
Yep. So that's obviously, as you said, Joe, that's scored as an E7. Not earned runs.
Strike. I'm wondering if her dad was a football player and that was his number or something.
Runners are at first and second. We still have 2 outs.
Of course, that's not even a regular number in football, is it? 77?
Not really, no. It's maybe like a
lineman or something.
Yeah.
But usually 70, 79.
Good pitch.
Nice pitch. Yeah, when she's down over the plate, she's throwing some nice pitches.
Well, yeah, she's been outside a lot.
Then when she tried to do something like throw the changeup, throw the curve, hit the out, that's when she gets herself in trouble. To me, it's just go for the blood right down the middle every time. Go for it.
There you go.
And we got a force out at third for the final out of the inning.
All right, so after the first 4.5 or 3.5 innings, we're going to the bottom of the 4th now with the Fighting Quakers down 8-1.
If you're going to come back, guys, I'd say now would be a good, nice time to try. That one inning when they hit the ball sharply 2 or 3 times, but all of them at somebody. Made a great play. The one up the middle, the one to the shortstop. If they can come out hitting and find some holes.
We're going to have to ask Mitch again because I think the run rule is 8 runs after a certain inning, which would I imagine be the 5th.
Right now we're at 7.
Right. But we'll ask him.
Well, the thing about it is, if they score, Wilmington, I think, still has a chance to come back. How many innings they go?
There's always
7.
Yeah, they go 7 innings. So we're still at the bottom of the 4th.
4th, yeah, which means if they score the next inning 1 or 2 runs, and Wilmington doesn't score, then it could be called.
Right.
Cozart's still in the game for pitching for Baldwin Wallace.
And Wilmington has been hitting some rockets as far as balls. It's just that they've all been hit at someone.
Right, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
They've hit some nice, solid shots or hitting her.
Yeah.
But when they hit, it's at somebody. Well, and we caught a couple last time for them, and then the final out, that was a long run for Hooper to come over and get that ball. It was about 1.5 feet inside the white line.
Right.
And
Second baseman.
hit off the heel of her glove.
23, Alicia Kemp.
Alicia Kemp coming in. He's going to lead us off. Kemp, Pierce, and Cook. Starts off with the ball. And again, here, just base hits. You know, you can't hit 7 runs off one pitch.
No, you're right. You can't. And there's
Base
the
hit
start.
down the line.
Right down the line.
Right past the third baseman and got the ball back in quickly, so she keeps her to a single.
Kemp. This Kemp is a great player. I really like her. She hits it where she needs to hit it.
That's her second hit of the game, I believe.
Good defense.
Now hitting.
Just a great all-around player.
Number 14, Allison Pierce.
Allison Pierce. These are Wilmington just now going, it looks like, back through the lineup. So, some of these girls haven't had a bat again. It's 4th inning, and they've already batted through the lineup a couple times. High outside. Do you see the count down there on the scoreboard anywhere?
The count is 2 balls and no strikes,
Okay,
no outs.
That's what I had, but I don't see it.
It's right below the.
Oh, I see. It's just like dash marks.
Yeah, it pops on and off here.
Yeah, okay, I see
So
it now.
The scoreboard, we have some electrical issues here, and
But it's not like I'm looking for a number. It's not a number. It's 3 dashes.
No, it's 3 dashes.
It's 3 little bullet points. Yeah. Meanwhile, Allison Pierce is 3-1 now, so she should get a good pitch to hit. And honestly, if you're Baldwin Wallace, when you're up by 7 runs, give her, throw her strike and force her to hit it.
Right, and it's not. It's
Low.
a ball 4. So we got 2 runners.
Yeah, leadoff runners on with Julia Cook. I said this in Game 1, Joe. She is a big University of Michigan softball fan. Has her priorities in the right order.
Number 10.
We'd love to see a pretty big hit from Julia here, as she did lead the team in home runs a season ago. That pitch
Whoa.
a mile high.
The girl on second was thought it was going to be a wild pitch, and she almost started taking off, and all of a sudden realized the catcher caught that ball, had to scoot her back.
And again, Cozart, 12 walks in 22 innings pitched heading into today. So that's, again, a walk every other inning. She averages roughly a walk and a strikeout every other inning.
And a lot of coaches that know that, they're going to tell the batters, take a few pitches. Don't go swinging early in the count. If she does get behind a couple balls, make her throw strikes. Make her come to you.
So we have 3-0.
3-0.
No outs.
I'm going to bet you're going to see a mound visit here if she loses Julia. Take sign is on. Julia takes. So, again, just like the Pierce at bat. 3-0 running to 3-1. If you're Julia here, you got to be really selective.
Right. Yeah,
Look for a pitch middle in and she looked for it and popped it up. That is just going to be P6. That's it. So here comes Mariah Burkhart, who's now the pitcher for Wilmington.
Now hitting the pitcher, number 30, Mariah Burkhart.
Ball. I was waiting for the arm to come up on that one, but didn't.
And I think if you're Wilmington hitters, Rick and Joe, don't you think you're going to be pretty selective because
You have to
she
be.
is not. Cozart has not thrown a lot of strikes here, especially in this inning. Make her throw strikes.
Throwing high. Yeah, cool day like today too. I'd make her keep throwing.
Ooh.
Yep. Good cut on that one though. That was a pitch she was looking for. It's Mariah Burkhart.
Yeah, one of the gaps would be a nice.
You'd be running for a while.
Yeah. Right side going out of play.
So Joe, this at bat kind of reminds me of the bat that Owens hit that home run on. The pitcher going up and away, and fouling off. If she goes up and away again, and Burkhart's able to just rope that ball into left field, or right field, but she cuts and misses on a pitch really high.
I should have stayed off that pitch.
Yep,
It would have been full count.
Yep.
So we have 2 outs.
So Kaylee Barber now coming in with 2 down.
Now hitting. Shortstop. Number 20, Kaylee Barber.
And Barber will take one and
Over
that's
the
over the
second
second
baseman,
baseman's
yes.
head. That's going to score it. Ooh,
Oh.
we got in a rundown now. Nope.
Nope.
Kemp's going to go back to third. I think Coach Floyd sent her, and Kemp didn't think she's going to make it.
Either that or he yelled her to come, or she yelled her to come back.
So bases are
decision.
loaded for Kendall Bowles, who again, I've said this a couple times, but if those you just tuned in, was 3 for 33 heading into today and finished game 1 3 for 3 with a hit by pitch. This is who you want up. If you're Wilmington with the bases loaded, and if the Fighting Quakers are going to get back into this game, Bowles needs to deliver here in this at bat.
A ball in the gap could score 3 runs right here because the girl in first is going to 2 outs. She's going to be
running.
Kaylee and Kaylee has, I would say, average to maybe a little above average speed. The one I'd worry about the most is Allison Pierce, but again with 2 outs, she's going to be running. If a ball hits in the gap, she's going to score no problem from second. I think Barber will be on her horse, as you said too. So.
Well, I don't think they're going to even try to stop the one on second if there's a base hit. They're going to try to keep everybody else from scoring or getting in a scoring position. Ooh, inside. Bob Ball was coming in.
And now you got
quick.
2-0 here, and Bowles also isn't that tall, so smaller strike zone for Cozart to hit here. That's
right.
not irrelevant.
Yeah, good point.
Bases loaded.
Looks like the center fielder's shading a little bit in the left
Ball
field. Here's
3.
another pitch high.
Yep.
So now all of a sudden you got 3-0. Gotta be
her.
a take sign here from Coach Floyd.
But I tell you what, if she's a good hitter, if she's going to groove her one, I'd almost be willing.
I don't think so, Joe.
I'd have to take
in a heartbeat. Do not swing at this.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
she
not even a good
takes.
pitch, see?
Ball 4, that is an RBI for a bases loaded walk. I'm guessing you're going to see somebody from Baldwin Wallace come to calm Cozart down. As now it's 8-2. We do have a pinch hitter here for Wilmington. Number 3, Jatasia Johns is going to be pinch hitting.
Now
4.
hitting. Number 3,
For Megan Krager.
Johns.
And she has come in one time in Florida. She delivered a pinch hit single to start off. I think she stepped in, and the home plate umpire said, I'm not done writing the change down on the official lineup card, so hang on a little bit. Jatasia Johns on the season is 154, 4 hits, and 26 at-bats. As I said, one of them is in a pinch hitting role.
Ooh.
Oh, and did she offer at that? I think she did. Yes, she did.
Yep.
Yep, I agree with that call. And if you're Jatasia, you got to think that you got to be pretty selective as Cozart had just walked a run in.
Right.
Make her throw a strike first. Keep that bat on your shoulder until she throws a strike.
Like there. And see, that's what happens after you swing at the bad pitch. Now you're a little hesitant. Now you let a good pitch go by. Now you're in trouble. Now you're 0-2.
Joe, we know her parents,
Yes.
Howard
And unfortunately,
and Heather?
she's a M fan too. Or at least her dad is.
Or as you people down here
we don't
do,
use the M.
Itchy again.
it's a stupid red X.
Yeah.
which might be the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life during that week, but that's beside the point.
I like it. I kind of like it.
Jatasia,
we do the same thing with the Massey team that's in the county.
So notice there, Joe, that was the pitch that she checked.
Right.
The first one, and this time she laid off it. So 2-2 now, 2 balls, 2 strikes, an uneven count. It would be even count if I was broadcasting because Joe's play-by-play. We'll call it an uneven count.
It's not even. It's not even. And that's the middle base hit. Uh-oh. Oh, a bad throw. They had her. She throws the ball over the base, but the short fielder came in, picked it up in center field, but threw a bad pass to second, so we got a scored a run, knocked in.
Yep, so Jatasia, and we've seen that a couple times, especially with Savannah Hooper now coming up. The outfield for Baldwin Wallace has played so far in that's almost happened to Wilmington a couple times. When you look at, you remember in the first game, Rick, the left fielder caught the ball 3 yards in the infield.
Right.
But here comes Savannah Hooper, and she's going to ground one to third base, and that's going to end it on a fielder's choice 5-2. But Wilmington does get two runs. So after 4, it's Baldwin Wallace 8 and Wilmington 3.
And we put that much further out so that there's not going to be any chance of this game ending sooner than we want it to, right?
Right. And that was a good thing. Unfortunately, with bases loaded, you'd like to see a few more runs scored before.
Well, we left 14 people on base the first game.
Wow. Well, right there's 3. And I don't know how many through the other.
And what I'm getting at is we have been getting some hits. We have been putting runners on the bases. So that
was our best inning right there.
Yeah, that bodes well for the future.
Because you can see we had 4 batters, and 3 batters. And then now we got 6 or 7 batters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 batters. 8 counting Hooper. Didn't mark her down for the third out. So right now, that's it. So we're starting off with Hensley next inning. For them, it looks like we should be
Second baseman.
Kozik.
Number 18, Alex Kozic.
Yep.
And Joe, we have a couple defensive changes for Wilmington. Jatasia Johns is going to stay in the game in the 9-hole, but she's going to move to right field. Michaela Hensley, the starting right fielder, will move to center field.
Okay. Hensley is in center field?
Hensley is now in center field, yes. She's played center field most of the season, has played right here the last week or so.
First pitch was high.
The key will be this inning that we get basically 3 up and 3 down. Oh, she hit her.
Yep. I thought maybe it hit the end of the bat, but no, it didn't.
It did sound kind of strange when it hit her, but looked like maybe the square of the back or.
Number 4, Macy Leach.
It's a strike.
Strike. Up the middle, solid hit.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Almost.
I thought it was going to be picked up, but
I thought it was going. I thought I couldn't see somebody got in my road. I thought she could have caught it ankle high, and then if not, she can pick it up, scoop, and throw quickly.
But the problem is, if you would have tried to dive for it or something like that, and it got beyond you, then you would have had.
No, I just meant come in and catch it if it hung up. But then I thought if she threw it in quickly, the runner had to hold up to see if it was going to be caught. Could have had a force out.
So we got runners at second and runners at first.
And there's a bunt put down. That's 3-4 sack bunt.
Good bunt. Advances the runners.
So Baldwin Wallace is going to attempt to get the 2 runs it lost in the 4th back.
Right.
Here in the 5th. And now with ducks on the pond, as one of my least favorite broadcasters, Hawk Harrelson, would say.
You thought he was going to say Charlie?
I thought he was coming. I was getting ready to say, there comes Charlie now.
No, but you're probably getting up there with your Ohio State
with your jacket, with your.
Sorry.
Oh, and into the pond.
We'll have to make sure we get you both some.
But you notice I didn't come in talking bad.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't come in talking bad about
Joe.
Michigan.
We'll just have to make sure we get you some Wilmington College gear.
That's
right.
I'll wear green.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm a big fan of green either, but I like green for Wilmington College.
Called that a strike.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty low to me.
I thought it was low and inside.
Yep, so 0-2 now. This is a pretty big pitch. One of the things that buddy of mine who's a pitching coach always said is when it's 0-2, do not give them anything close to the strike zone, which is exactly what Mariah Burkhart did there. Throw a little drop ball.
The only problem I have
pitch.
is like when I would say throw it this far outside. Don't throw it this far outside.
Because then they won't swing at all.
They won't swing at all.
I would
make them think if you could catch the corner.
If you can throw a pitch that looks like a strike,
right.
Yes,
that breaks out in the zone no matter how far it breaks, as long as it looks like a strike.
Yes.
And that's
golf.
And honestly, you know what? That's a pretty good pitch from Burkhart.
That was a great pitch.
It's a better piece of hitting.
Oh, can they get her? Oh, it didn't throw.
That was a better piece of hitting there for Baldwin Wallace.
If someone was behind the second baseman and just shouting, 1-1-1-1 when she caught it, just could have caught it and turned him through, they could have got her.
Well, they accomplished what they set out to do, which was to pick those 2 runs up that
gave
up.
And that was Boldovic, and that was, as I said, guys, that was a pretty good pitch from Burkhart. I don't think you can do much else as a pitcher.
No.
She just took a tough pitch and roped it into left field.
She just 9-darned it out there, and just.
Yeah, it looked more like a golf swing, didn't it? It's 10-3 now.
Yeah, 10-3, Baldwin Wallace ahead.
And Rick said a minute ago, well, we don't have to worry about this not going full any more innings, and jinxed us really bad there, Rick.
Yep, showing bunt here. Bunt gets down. This is going to be 1-4 sack bunt. And Allison Pierce actually had to run all the way over to the first baseman, and Savannah Hooper had to cover third base for Kendall Bowles. So 2 outs now, another sacrifice bunt for Baldwin Wallace. And stepping up to the plate is English, who has had herself a pretty good day.
She's had a good
looking
day.
to score the run from second base.
Didn't we say that she might be one of Charlie's distant relatives?
That's what Charlie said.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And here's a
foul
hit.
Foul ball.
Yep, foul ball down the third baseline. And as I alluded to earlier, Rick, she really likes the first couple pitches. She has swung at the first pitch
virtually every
just
time
about every time, and she's had a decent amount of success doing so. Good pitch from Burkhart there.
And she's not a second pitch batter because otherwise she'd have been going at that one.
So now 0-2. Burkhart 1 strike away from getting out of this top of the 5th inning.
A little low. I was going to say a nice little changeup right there might get her because she was out quick on that first one. Another ball. 2-2.
All right.
Our scorekeepers are having too much fun over here to our right.
I know.
Bouncer to short, picks up. Throw to first out, and that's got us out of the inning.
Boom, boom. So, we're going into the bottom of the 5th inning. The Fighting Quakers trail by 7, 10-3.
No errors and 1 left on base.
Yes, scoring Wilmington 3. If they could have stopped the home run earlier, maybe they would have scored 1 or so runs in that inning, and then shut them down the next inning. It could, if it was a 4 or 5-3 game right now, it'd be more interesting. Not saying Wilmington can't get back in this game. As we saw last inning, bases loaded with scoring already 2. A home run or a ball down the corner could have scored 3 more runs. Boom. Could have had 5 or 6 runs in 1 inning.
Yeah, 39 degrees out right now. BW, some of their girls are manning their jackets.
They're manning them or womaning them?
Yeah, whatever, yeah, one of those.
For those of you listening in, don't trust Rick Phillips with the weather.
That's right, yeah. Anytime I give you a temperature.
But it is pretty cold, and given that the sun's not out anymore, that
I don't have my phone, so I can't check it. So I don't know if it's at home. Probably left it at home. Charlie.
You want me to call you?
No, it's in the car because I called Charlie when I got here to say.
So Mariah Burkhart's going to try to spark a Wilmington offense that has, they scored 6 runs in the first game, but as Rick and I were saying, they could have scored probably double that, given the amount of hits they had and the amount of runners that were left on base. But Cozart really this game, part of sometimes it's difficult to hit a pitcher that's erratic, and she's
Right.
been a couple innings hitting the strike zone,
Ooh,
and
down the
the
middle.
next time you come to plate, all of a sudden she's throwing, at your chin, and
Right.
then low in the dirt, and it's 3-0.
Yeah. So it actually works to her benefit.
I think sometimes it does.
Ooh.
She was sort of bailing on that. It seemed like she didn't swing toward the ball. She was like her shoulders were coming back away from the ball a little bit as she swung.
All right, so she's in a hole now.
Oh, yes.
Runner up.
Oh,
Yep.
that was nice.
Strikeout looking. That was a heck of a pitch, and sometimes you got to tip your cap.
Yep. Again,
She likes that one.
Second baseman, number 23, Alicia Kemp.
Kemp up, Pierce on deck. Need to get a rally going here, guys.
And there's Hargrave Creek claims another victim.
Call it that because it stinks out there or what?
No, Charlie just kept talking about the creek, and I
Yeah.
said, you know what, Charlie, we're just going to call it Hargrave Creek.
He had a obsession with the creek.
1-1.
You know how Charlie gets.
Oh, no comment. He might be listening to me right
no
now.
No comment is wise.
Hi, Charlie. Notice I didn't say anything.
There's a little blooper,
Blooper
that
could-
might
That's
drop.
gonna get it.
Oh,
what
great
a
play
play.
by the second baseman.
Yeah, what a play. That was a great play reaching. That was number 15.
Almost running.
Oh, that
to-
is Abby Cozart.
running with her back to the to home plate. She
Wait a minute, that wasn't 15. That was, who's at second base for Baldwin Wallace?
number
the wrong number. 18.
18.
Yeah,
which
that
is
was Kozic.
Kozic.
So Cozart and Kozic, not too far off. But she was that was one of those that she was running almost straight back,
That's
and
right.
then the ball kept tailing, and she used her left hand over
Right.
her right
Because
shoulder.
usually I go back and basket catch that like that. When I'm going back, I catch it like this. When to catch like this
go.
is hard.
Yeah.
you couldn't catch it that.
And here's a little blooper to the pitcher, and that's going to do it.
3
for
out,
Wilmington.
3 batters.
3 up, 3 down. And after 5 complete, our score here in Game 2 from the WC Softball Complex, Baldwin Wallace 10 and Wilmington 3.
And what's hurt Wilmington is 4 batters the first inning, 4 batters the second inning, 3 batters the next inning, and then big inning, but then 3 batters again
Which
this
I'll
inning.
tell you, Joe, is the exact opposite of what happened in the first game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Again, I know you weren't here for that,
No.
but Wilmington left second, third in the first inning, second, third in the second inning, second, third in the third inning, first and third in the fourth, bases loaded in the fifth, and bases loaded in the sixth.
Wow.
14 runners left on base.
And we had bases loaded left that inning. So we've only had 4 left on base because we haven't had that many base runners.
Yep. It's going to be Mott that's going to lead off the sixth for Baldwin Wallace.
Mott was the pitcher in the first game.
Yep, DP in this game. And Burkhart still on the mound for Wilmington again. Beth Persicano did not have her best outing.
Number 33, Sam Moth.
We were scheduled to have women's lacrosse and baseball today, but baseball is supposed to play Franklin College, and Franklin College had to move a conference game to today, which booted the series between Wilmington and Franklin, which is the similar situation that Wilmington softball had to do. They had to boot the Defiance series, move that
Nice
to
hit
April,
to
and
left.
that ball is hit really
the
sharply
rocket.
left field, and you almost wonder, Joe and Rick, that Savannah Hooper's had her troubles today in left field, and you wonder if that happened in top of the first in game one, she'd
she
have made
would-
a diving attempt at that, but I think she just
I think if she ran in, I don't even think she'd had to dive. I think she'd have caught it like
but
here. But
elected to play it safely because of that. I believe we're going to have a pinch runner, and I'm going to have to go see because Baldwin Wallace is once again
Wearing
having their
their-
jacket on.
Right. They are the Yellow Jackets. So, I'm going to want to ask Mitch because obviously he's integral in the scheduling of these games. When they move what would be a non-conference game to a conference game,
The mystery Jane Doe,
Jane
excuse
Doe.
me, is Renata Russo. at first for
Looks like we're going to have a change.
Baldwin Wallace, and we're going to have a pitching change for Wilmington. Sydney Harville.
When these games are moved, like the game that we're talking about, where we now have a conference game versus, do you do that as a result of the fact that you're getting a game behind in the conference and you have to get your conference
games take precedent over non-conference games?
So
and
if
the
you're
OAC has a rule.
a game behind, you've got to make it up.
Not necessarily just a game behind, but the OAC has a rule that you have 10 days from the originally scheduled start date to get the game in, and if you don't, then it does not happen. The games are canceled, and the conference champion is determined by winning percentage.
Okay.
So baseball last week ran into that issue, or early this week, where they played John Carroll, and that was 7 or 8 days after they were originally supposed to schedule John Carroll. So if we got to today and baseball still hadn't played John Carroll, the games would have just been gone.
Okay.
Now, did they play home and away?
No.
Okay.
No, just doubleheaders. And actually, the Defiance is in the HCAC. That's my former conference. They have a similar rule, and they would have had to boot this game to play Mount St. Joseph today anyways. So both schools did the same thing.
It worked out well as far as the scheduling.
Correct.
But now, will you make those games up?
The non-conference games you try to, but not guaranteed.
Oh,
nice hit.
Pulled in infield, and she hit one right by the third baseman. She might have played that ball if she's back at her regular position.
Yeah.
And the shortstop was then pulled towards second because of the runner on first, and so that left a hole there.
So we have runners at first and runners at second?
Are we putting a runner in for first, number
Yep.
5? I think she had her hand at 5.
Yep, 5. We have another yellow jacket with a jacket on.
So, but at least she gave us her number.
Yep, number 5, Christina Jennings will come in. So basically with the non-conference games, Rick, you were asking, you try to make them up, but sometimes you can't. So baseball with Franklin, we've already determined that game is canceled, meaning it will not be made up. So on our website, postponement meaning we're still attempting to make the series up. Defiance has already been moved, softball, to April 26th. I believe that's a Thursday, so we'll try to get those games in there.
Okay, good.
Our number 77 is at bat.
The infamous number 77.
Yep.
No outs, 2 on. Bunt, and just out of the reach of the catcher.
And Sydney Harville has only pitched 1 inning to this point, but her earned run average is a ripe 21. 3 earned runs, but again, sample size is quite small. Only gave up 2 hits in that inning, but 3 earned runs in 1 inning pitched.
I didn't think the girl that came in to pitch for Wilmington Burkhardt, I didn't think she was pitching that bad to, unless you just didn't think she could, how many pitches she had already pitched, not being out there very much.
Owen shows bunt and pulls back. It's a ball.
So 2 balls and a strike. No outs.
Yep, no outs here.
2 on, first and second.
And the bunt gets down. Pierce fields it.
That ball was going to spin.
Probably should have let it go.
I think it was going to spin foul.
So that is going to be a bunt single for Owen. And now we've got bases juiced. No outs for the Yellow Jackets. And Alex Kozic, who made that phenomenal play at second base, comes up with the bases loaded. It's funny how you make a great defensive play and then you get rewarded with a chance to knock in some runs.
Right, now she's bases loaded, no outs. Yeah, I think if the first baseman would have let that go, I think it was going to spin foul. Yeah. High pitch, swung on.
Pitch. That's
foul ball.
Yep, foul ball. Yeah, Barber probably could have made the play, did not.
Again, that's where going with the glove like this, I think you got a better shot of basket catching it with here than to try to angle it in with.
So now, once again, what we would call the run rule.
Which isn't necessarily.
Yeah, we could be into that right after this inning real quickly. Wilmington would be forced to have to score.
If I'm in foul territory and it goes off my glove and bounces fair, it's fair play.
It's where the ball is, right? Not where the player is.
All right, it's 1-1. No outs.
High pitch hit in the infield. Second baseman calling it. Infield out was called by the umpire.
Yeah. Infield fly.
Infield fly rule.
So we were talking about the run rule or the
sure.
What are we?
So it's
10 to 3.
8 runs after 5 or 6 innings. So if Baldwin Wallace were to plate a run and Wilmington were to not score in the 6th inning, the bottom half, the game would be completed with 6 innings.
Long look in. And ball's hit up the middle, and it's got by the center fielder. Here comes 1. Here comes 2. Here comes 3. The throw goes to third, not in time. 3 runs are scored. 3 runs plated. And you were talking about 1 run coming in. Well, they got 3 runs in.
So it is now 13 to 3, 10-run lead for BW.
Now hitting, third baseman, number 42, Alex, Dick.
And still only 1 out.
Oops, they put that in the wrong spot. Gave Dick the triple. Still only 1 out. Runner on third. And Dick batting. Can't see the pitcher.
That was a ball.
A little bit. Just outside, how we say. Foul ball out of play. That would have been a strike. So now she's got 0-2.
1-1, you mean?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
1-1. That's right. We were talking about the big ball, and then I turned around and made her to strike.
I mean, I'd love it to be a strike, Joe, but
yeah.
Yep. Harville is kind of a slower wind-up. That's a good pitch. That should end it. Or, excuse me, second out. Yep, so P3 there to Allison Pierce and see if Harville, after surrendering the bases-clearing triple, can strand that triple at third base.
Now hitting, right fielder, number 22, Alexis Boldovic.
So Wilmington has to plate 3 runs in the bottom of the inning. That would make them 7 down.
That is correct, provided that the run at third does not
score. Well, I mean, as it stands right now.
As it stands now, Wilmington would need to score 3 runs to extend the game to the 7th inning. Good pitch there from Harville. I think seems to me she's got command of her fastball. It's the breaking pitches, that change-up that she's thrown a couple times, or the off-speed pitch has been really high.
Yeah, she seems to be holding on to it just a hair too long, I think.
And there it is again.
Again, if you're going to miss with that pitch, miss where they're not going to hurt you. That's the basic thing to do.
2-1 the count. 2 outs. And there's a little liner right to Alicia Kemp, and that'll do it.
So the runner is
Baldwin Wallace, but Baldwin Wallace is that the damage is done with that bases clearing triple. So we will head to the bottom of the 6th, and it'll be up to the Fighting Quakers to plate 3 runs to continue this game into the 7th inning. And we have both pinch runners, players that were taken out for Baldwin Wallace are now re-entering into the game, so it'll be back to the original starting lineup for the Yellow Jackets.
And you're listening to CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports. What a reminder along our network that tomorrow we've got Wilmington Hurricane Lacrosse from Alumni Field in Wilmington, Ohio. We'll get underway at 6 o'clock for that match tomorrow night. And we look forward to the Hurricane now 2-1, plating maybe their 3rd win tomorrow evening. They're playing the Talawanda Braves tomorrow. Wilmington in its 22nd year of lacrosse. And in fact, the Wilmington coach played lacrosse at Wilmington and also here at Wilmington College.
Wow.
So, don't you just love it when you're from a small town area and everybody knows everybody and everybody, it's really remarkable the way you can follow some of these careers. And
WKRP in Cincinnati.
Yeah, well, that was Cincinnati's a little bigger city, though, Joe. This is more like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
But I'm watching that TV show because it's back on the air right now, and I'm thinking, well, it reminds me of WCA.
Number 25, Abby Schinkel.
Abby Schinkel, pitch hitting for Cook.
She is a Xenia product.
Called a strike. I thought it was going to be low, but umpire called it a strike. Was that a good pitch? Good pitch.
Yeah, I think it was good.
I'm behind the umpire and the catcher, so those outside pitches are hard to see for me.
So an easy pop fly to the first baseman. So we now have one out here in the bottom of the sixth inning.
Pitcher, number 17, Sydney Harville.
Spell that.
Sydney Harville.
Harville, there it is. Okay.
First pitch foul there. Sydney, who's a pitcher that is getting a chance to bat again because Wilmington it does not have its flex position anymore when they sent Burkhart in to pitch.
By the way, just let you know, that is not me. I haven't had anything. That's all Charlie.
No, well, it's a combination.
Referring to Charlie leaving some scraps for us to clean up. Harville takes a strike.
Takes a
Yep.
strike.
Yep.
That good? I thought that was outside.
That one was running out.
Yes.
That was running away from the batter, and I think that was already outside because she watched it.
There's a low pitch. Good. Called low. 2-2. Foul tip.
Didn't even move, Joe. That either means that you're dead or you.
Was it going to hit me? I got a.
Oh no! Wait! Don't tell us. You've got a screen and you've got glass in between you.
In
right?
between me.
I've heard that somewhere before.
Ooh, swung right
that
through
was-
that one. She didn't swing like she meant it there.
No, it would. So 2 down.
I don't know who's batting.
Now hitting, the shortstop.
Kaylee Barber, number 20.
Well, I meant it could have been a pinch hitter is what I meant.
Correct. Yep. Yep. So 2 outs. Last chance here for Wilmington.
Going to call that high? Yes. I was going to say, those pitches up here have been called high all game. I'd hate to see him turn around and call that one a strike after. Strike.
Well, consistent. One and one.
Foul high, out of play, behind the
That
plate.
almost hit your car.
I was
Joe.
gonna say
that was actually very close to hitting your car.
No, my car's here. It hit
No,
right over
it
there.
was very close to
To
hitting
your
car.
car.
I'm not worried.
And it was not
It
near the
was-
Hargrave
it was
Creek at that time.
Actually, probably
Probably
a
hit the
couple
red
feet from
car.
hitting your car.
I think it hit the red
Why
car.
are you guys always pulling for my car to get hit? And it doesn't matter where I park it, they find it.
Good job laying off there, Barber. That fastball outside.
Two out in the inning. One ball.
And that's going to do it.
That's
She
gonna do it.
fans through a high fastball, and by my calculation, that is the ball game for Baldwin Wallace.
Yep.
It is indeed. They're shaking hands. So a doubleheader split for the Quakers, 6-2. Wilmington winning game 1, and Baldwin Wallace taking game 2, 13-3 in 6 innings. I'll throw it back to you, Joe and Rick. Thanks for
wanna
letting me
thank
be a
you,
part of the
Mitch. Oh, yeah,
broadcast,
we
and
appreciate it.
hopefully in the future. Take care, guys.
And Joe didn't get us in trouble.
Yeah, I'm the nice guy. Charlie's the one that gets us.
Oh, is
in
that
trouble.
it? Yes,
Yes.
Charlie. Well, anyway, we want to thank everybody for tuning in to today's broadcast on WZAA 106.9,
What's up?
LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio, and also on CampusNation.com, the Sports Animal. Reminder, tomorrow morning, we've got the Morning Zoo, 7 to 10. So tune in and find out what Joe Mahanes will be in tomorrow, our trucker. We don't call him the trucker bozo.
Is he in relation to Bill Mahanes?
Yeah, that's right. Charlie Mahanes.
You said Joe Mahanes.
Joe Anyway, so I'm going to hurry before Dean wants to cut off his camera. So
let's leave Dean out there for a while.
For Joe Davis, for Dean Butterball Dean, and for Charlie Hargrave from our earlier game, this is Rick Phillips from the campus of Wilmington College. Good night, everybody. Go Fightin' Quakers.
I thought Bill had another brother, you know.